Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News, or more specifically, welcome back to another XRP livestream. Solely dedicated to XRP, I think we don't have any other articles / pieces of news for today. So if you enjoy this content, if you are an XRP holder, if you enjoy XRP content, if you like this news, make sure you press the like button. And what I always find interesting is that we always have some people in the waiting room, right? But whenever I start the stream, instantly, pop, 20% of the people just click away. That to me is pretty funny. Maybe they don't see a face like, oh, I'm out. Or maybe they were waiting and they forgot about it or something like that. But where you guys all watching from? Let me know in the chat box, man. Let me know. How you guys all doing? This is one of the first times in a very long while that I actually am streaming with a notification. We usually just do the streams and we have to build up the people. I completely forgot that this is also a possibility, but how you guys are doing, man? This is the first time for a lot of you guys, huh? Oh, damn. This is the first time for a lot of you guys that you can watch me live. So that to me is pretty funny. Let me actually, I'm gonna quickly share the stream in Discord again, and then we can get started, man. It's been a really interesting day. I've been reading up on a lot of this lawsuit stuff from earlier today / yesterday for some of you guys, because I was missing out on it a little bit, but now I'm fully back up to date, and I can give you guys the most perfect update, hopefully. Because, well, as we've already described the last couple of days, it's not looking that good for the SEC, to be honest with you. It's not looking that good for them because, well, you'll see in just a second, all right? You'll see. All right, so let's get it going. First of all, XRP community, SEC v. Ripple. The SEC filed a one-page response to Ripple's reply to the SEC's motion to strike Ripple's fair notice affirmative defense. This was by far the most interesting part of the entire day. By far. Everybody was talking about it, mostly because Philon also said it's a pathetic response. And the amount of articles written about this were interesting, but I had to look up what a reply actually was. Again, guys, I am not a native English speaker. I don't know all these words, specifically not all these legal terms, but for all of you guys that were also wondering about the reply specific part, it basically is kind of simple. It's actually just another reply to a reply of a reply. Reply is an additional reply to a motion filed after the motion has already been fully briefed. For example, a legal document such as a motion is filed by one party, the filing party, requesting the court to enter an order. The other party, respondent, responds to the motion. The filing party then replies to the responding party's response, and some courts actually allow the responding party to file a reply to the filing party's reply to the responding party's response. So it's a little bit more elaborate than it needs to be. It's basically just an extra reply on top of a response on top of a reply. That's how I like to see it. It's just SEC brought something up, Ripple responded to that, and the SEC responded to that one. Right? That's basically what it comes down to. And what is it about? Well, the motion to strike Ripple's fair notice affirmative defense. So the SEC put up a motion to strike a defense. Ripple is the defendant in this lawsuit, right? And, well, they are defending basically on a lot of different bases, on 7 to be exact. Number 4, one of the defenses is fair notice, which basically means the SEC should have given fair notice without suing them like this. They should have given fair notice, and because they didn't, Ripple's in their right, and they couldn't have known, basically. Now, here's the response. Plaintiff, SEC, respectfully responds to defendant's Ripple Labs, Inc. reply to the SEC's motion to strike Ripple's 4th affirmative defense motion. See these points in the SEC motion and brief in support, and DE 172, Ripple's opposition, and DE 205. These are just document numbers which you can check. The reply argues in part that the SEC's, and this is where it gets interesting, 74 enforcement actions in the digital asset space before it filed this lawsuit were insufficient to provide Ripple fair notice that its unregistered wow, I'm messing up for a little second. That its unregistered sales of XRP could be illegal, such that due process is not satisfied. This argument is based on an incorrect characterization of the fair notice defense. Ripple's argument boils down to this, quote, because none of the SEC's prior digital asset cases involve the exact same identical facts as this case, Ripple lacked sufficient fair notice, such that it cannot be liable for violating Section 5's strict liability provisions. But fair notice does not require such exact factual correspondence, and Ripple cites no case that suggests anything to the contrary. So, on this part already, you want to kind of punch yourself in the freaking ass or something like that. I want to kind of punch myself in the face. I don't even know why. That's how messed up this stuff has got me. I don't even know why. I want to punch myself in the face. See what they're doing to me, guys? I'm not sure what's going on here. But basically, what they've said is, well, Ripple, by the way, had an entire response. We went over it because I thought it was pretty damn good. And Ripple basically outlines and explains why the SEC didn't give them fair notice. And one of the parts which they state is that the SEC has had so many enforcement actions before, right? We've talked about all of those, not all of those, but we talked about this exact argument. The SEC likes to put up that Ripple should have known they were doing something wrong because the SEC put up enforcement actions before, which is completely bizarre to think of something like that. Now, the SEC is putting that up, Ripple responded correctly, and the SEC is now saying, well, we don't agree, right? We don't agree. You're saying that, oh, because there's no case akin to ours, it shouldn't be. Like, we still give you fair. It's so dumb. I'm almost sweating. It is so ridiculously stupid. Ripple states that there's no case in the exact same fashion as what happened to Ripple. Why? Because the majority of these cases were freaking ICOs. Ripple did not have an ICO. So obviously, there's already just 95% of these that fall off. Maybe all of them. Because that's the majority of what the SEC has been doing. No case is akin to Ripple's, except for Bitcoin and Ethereum, but they didn't get a case. They were decided behind closed doors. So already oh man, I'm getting pumped up here. Right of the abundance of case law interpreting and applying. That's what they're saying. At all levels of the judiciary, as well as related guidance issued by the SEC, as to the scope of its regulatory authority and enforcement power, provide all the notice that it's constitutionally required. Oh my days. Rejecting criminal defendants' contention that the U.S. security laws are unconstitutionally vague, void for vagueness, as applied to crypto. Well, we would like to argue that the rules of the U.S. are definitely quite vague, specifically the security laws surrounding crypto, and there definitely are. Here, Howey and its progeny, I'm not sure what that one actually means, still not. Howey and its progeny, flexible rather than static principle, would be nullified by a ruling that a fair notice defense can defeat any claim involving an investment product that is not identical to one previously deemed a security. The court should reject the invitation to issue such a ruling. And I want to kind of, as I just said, kind of punch myself in the freaking brain for this one. It's so dumb, and James also notices it and puts it out there. It's so stupid. It is so dumb. I don't even know how to describe this to you. But we have more articles on that because people noticed this one. This one didn't go unrecognized. People noticed that this is this is one of the stupidest ones by far. And I don't even like saying that because I always like to be kind of unbiased, where it's like, if the SEC says something which I think makes sense, I will tell you. And if I think it doesn't, I will also tell you. And here, everybody's just claiming in the same fashion that it really is stupid. Now, this article is talking about that exact thing. Howey, as a good example, is one of the last points stated right there, where Howey should be, that's kind of what they're saying, just kind of available to be used on almost anything. And Ripple, of course, and all of us would like to argue that that's not exactly the case and that should be changed. That's the entire problem right here. Why? Well, Howey test is good for securities, right? But Howey was made 1960, something like that, 94, just a long freaking ass time ago, right? A long ass time ago. And the problem there, obviously, is that there were no freaking computers in the way that we have them now. So there specifically was never a rule book made for how digital securities like this would work. And I mean, for ICOs, we can kind of see the correspondence. We can kind of see how those might fall into the security category because we are flexible enough, or the rules are flexible enough to make it that way. They are bendable yet enough. Now, for the Ripple specific case, which is completely different than any ICO case, key there being an ICO usually requires funding, to fund a project. So EOS had an ICO because they wanted to build something. So they were crowdfunding to build that. Ripple made those tokens, made their company, made everything, and then started to distribute those coins. It's different because you already have the product before doing a quote-unquote sale or giveaway, instead of doing the sale before actually having a product, which in this specific case has been deemed security time upon time again. So yeah, it's subpar to what we expect, but all right. Code word is panakuk. I'm just quickly reading what you guys are saying in the chat box. As someone, you might say, I think my brain just committed suicide. I like that one. And then we have SEC v Ripple. SEC and Ripple filed joint letter on proposed redactions and sealing of exhibits. This type of stuff is really never that relevant. At least in my opinion, it isn't. You can't really do too much with this at all. So not exactly sure why to cover this or what to do with that. It's literally going to do you no good. But regarding SEC or reply to SEC v Ripple, dear Judge, we write jointly on behalf of Ripple Labs and plaintiff SEC to your Honor's order to provide joint proposed redactions with respect to those numbers and their respective attachments. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what to say about those. It's just a little letter. I'm not sure what to tell you. This is not important at all. Yeah, so I think I did retweet it just because it's there. Let's quickly see what somebody has. No, this is also not too relevant. It's not too relevant, all of this one. This one, not specifically. Let's quickly see. There was actually one other thing I would like to point out, which I think was in the comments section here. Bill said, James, do they actually oppose the request by Ripple for permission to file the SIR reply? They seem to just respond to the SIR reply and assume permission was granted. And James said, the SEC did not oppose Ripple's filing a SIR reply, but reserved the right to respond to it if it felt it was necessary. So this is a response to the actual SIR reply, not the motion to file one. So it was like they ran out of steam and just felt as if they had to say something. It was half-hearted and really added nothing that hasn't already been said. What they did here, once more to kind of summarize it for the guys that do not understand, what they did is just come back to their initial point, which is that, hey, Ripple, because of all our cases before, well, you should have known. And Ripple said, no, we shouldn't. And now they're saying again, yeah, you should. They didn't add anything. It's just very dumb. Had no use at all. Wasted our time. So the SEC is losing their steam is what people are saying. And I really firmly feel that, guys. I'm feeling it. Because haven't you guys also noticed what we all talked about the last couple of weeks here? The SEC piece by piece is starting to crumble. And I'm hoping, I so am freaking hoping that at one point or another, the judge is just going to be like, you know what, let's end this misery. But it can't. Right now, there's two main options. One is a settlement. That's an option. Always going to be an option. And two, of course, would be to wait for summary judgment, which is going to happen in a couple of months from now, and then get to a decision. Now, before we continue, John UK Harvey came in with the £5 saying, when do you think the judge will decide whether to give an extension? So an extension, I'm not a lawyer in that sense, so I'm not exactly sure how long those usually take, but we can actually look it up here. How long does a judge take to make a decision on extension? Usually she's replied within a couple of weeks. Then again, I think one reply that she also, okay, no, I'm only finding Dutch articles here. It's not the best one for me. I can't really look this one up properly. I think there's no real average time. You might want to look it up in the US here. I'd have to use a VPN real quick or change my search settings in the bottom, but that would take too much time. Now, I would say that she first of all has to reply to John Deaton's motion to intervene, right? So John Deaton filed a motion to intervene, and that one has to be responded to. I would say that has to be responded to first, because that one was from a really long time ago. I'm not also sure if this entire motion was actually first too, and if the judge actually has to follow those rules or not, where they, go on order. I think she could just defy the order. Then again, she has no hurry until kind of closer towards the deadline. It's so important, so we kind of think it would be fast, right? But maybe it's a really difficult decision. Maybe one of those other sides, like for example, the SEC can file another response to Ripple, because that's kind of a theme we see often here too, right? Where it's like, Ripple files one thing, SEC files a response, Ripple files another response to that one, and SEC files another response. So I'm kind of thinking maybe the SEC is going to put up another reply, or sorry guys, a response to Ripple's reply, where they basically stated why there shouldn't be an extension. I believe SEC might come out with such a document first. And then after that, the judge is going to decide. So I'm still waiting out on it a little bit because I do think there's some more to come. I saw Ferdinand in the chat as well at the start. I kind of missed out, man. I was excited. There were so many people in the chat box. I got sidetracked a little bit. Hey guys, if you're watching this right now, by the way, we have over 1,100 people watching. Make sure you press that like button right now just to help out the channel a little bit. Any money doesn't cost you anything. All it does is make the video perform just a teeny weeny little bit better in the YouTube algorithm. And fun fact, exactly when I said that, my stream all of a sudden dropped a couple of frames. It's the way it goes, right? It's the way it sometimes goes, but no, it just helps out a little bit. I hope that likes help, but I'm not sure about it. But yeah, whatever. If you wanted to help, you know what to do. I also see a lot of people in the chat box, like at least 10 people by now asking, when is the hearing going to be? What hearing are you guys talking about that I missed? There's no hearing set. There has been some talk of a hearing, but those those documents have been sealed. So we don't know anything about any hearing. All you know about is SEC specific hearings. So that are discussions or meetings, I should call them, which is that the SEC just meets up with a couple of other SEC members and go cuddle and go do fun stuff. No, those Sunshine Act meetings, which everybody's talking about, that's just the SEC on their own. Has on its own nothing to do with Ripple, so don't mind yourself too much for it, all right? There's no Ripple versus SEC hearing tomorrow, not the day afterwards or anything like that. If there was one, I would tell you, all right? But if you're ever worried about that, easiest thing to do is just subscribe to the channel. You'll be notified every single time that something happens. All right? Make sure you have the notification bell on. I gotta quickly get my window open here. It's freaking hot inside, man. Get it open. There we go. All right. Put some fresh air into la casa. You know what I mean? There we go. There we go. Pretty nice. And Tyler says, breaking news, Gensler quit. That would be an amazing day, huh? No, I'm not exactly sure if any person within the SEC leaving would actually be a good or bad thing. I don't think it would actually do too much, to be completely honest with you. Now, John Deaton put up on Twitter a reply to Panos. Panos said, over the years, XRP has been criticized for being centralized and a banker's coin, among other things. But what is the actual truth? And why do so many people avoid doing their own research? Panos said, this is a longer version of my recent tweet. Now, when someone tells you XRP is centralized or a banker's coin or any other misconception, simply send them this article and share it with everyone. Well, I would like to share that too, because it's a good thing to have out there. People really often talk about XRP being centralized. Even some really big Bitcoin YouTubers, they have talked about it in my presence. I was just like sitting there like, what are you talking about? It's because they don't understand. It's because they don't do their research and they just assume that Ripple controls everything, which is not the truth. Now, John Dean put up here, when someone tweets or replies to a tweet that XRP is centralized or that Ripple controls the XRP ledger, etc., don't argue and just respond with this. Unless you're Hammer Toe, of course, we all enjoy how he dismantles their arguments. Thank you, Panos, for your help. And Hammer Toe is Matt Hamilton. He is basically, as you can clearly see here, Director of Developer Relations at Ripple X, which is a part of Ripple. Interested in cryptocurrencies, blockchain, AI, ML, tinkering with IoT stuff, ex-IBMer. He knows his stuff regarding XRP, all right? He knows his stuff. And I often try to tag him or try to, see whatever he replies because it helps me understand XRP even better whenever he replies to it. But it's really a big issue, I personally think. It's really a big issue how people are calling it wrong or poorly and just kind of misrepresenting it to a greater amount of people. Like, XRP is really often considered by main media as a centralized piece of garbage or a crappy coin or just stupid stuff like that. And I always like to just push him, I would say punch him in the face. But man, let me quickly see if we can actually open this on the side here. I'm not sure what exactly the article is. If it's too bad, I might not want to show it on YouTube, but I think we can open it. Unless you have to pay for the article, then I'm not going to give him a shout out anymore. If it's free, we can, however, take a little bit of a look. Yes, it is all good, all good. Yes, we can check. Okay, so here we go. Why XRP is the most misunderstood crypto made to date. Look at that, guys. Look at that. It's a pretty long one. XRP v Ripple v XRP Ledger versus RippleNet. Explanation of how everything works, and here is how centralized or decentralized it is. I guess we can quickly read this little part here. I think it talks about a lot of it already. I think this only part here would be good enough to understand it exactly for all the people wondering in the chat box. All right. One of the biggest misconceptions is that XRP is centralized and that Ripple controls most of the nodes, or that the UNL leads to centralization. Easy little integration right there. UNL stands for Unique Node List, which is basically the controlling factors of getting XRP transactions validated. You know, the Unique Node List is basically a list of trusted parties which can decide. And a lot of people make the argument that the UNL is controlled by Ripple because Ripple puts up the UNL preference list, which basically means Ripple puts up a list which you can run of UNL to make sure you're basically having a solid list of trusted picks. Now, you can always decide for yourself. It's just one that Ripple chooses that can help you out. And that doesn't make it centralized on its own. It's just, you might only, I guess one thing we should say, you might only want to look into or kind of understand that some of those on the UNL are Ripple partners, and that you might call centralized, but whatever, right? But let's look at the facts. XRP's blockchain, XRP Ledger, uses a consensus protocol that relies on validator nodes to record and verify transactions without incentivizing any party. So the difference with Bitcoin and XRP is that with Bitcoin, you get money for mining those blocks, right? With XRP, you get frick all. There's no incentive. The XRP Ledger uses a form of the Federated Byzantine Agreement, FBA, consensus algorithm, and the validators are nodes running as a validating server, meaning they are configured to participate in the consensus process for validating transactions and the governance of the network. Validators are different from miners in proof of work that Bitcoin uses because they aren't paid to do all this stuff. On the XRP Ledger, there are two kinds of nodes. Validators, which were explained above, and stock nodes, which protect the validators, store the ledger's history, and allow API calls. Today, there are over 170 validators and 900 nodes that operate at locations across the globe and are run by a broad range of individuals, universities, institutions, and exchanges. For a consensus to be reached on the network, at least 80% of the validators must agree. Ripple runs only 6 validators and controls less than 4% of all validators on the network. Now, you might want to kind of add a couple to this because some of them are really close Ripple partners and you might say they have some influence over them, but directly, I thought it was 17. Right now it's been reduced to 6 though because they tried to reduce it over time, which is less than 4%, which gives them no power whatsoever on the XRP Ledger because, again, a majority is needed. This means that the XRP network is highly decentralized, and we can say that it is a better and more robust and more decentralized structure than Bitcoin and Ethereum actually have, because 4 mining groups control 58% of Bitcoin, 3 mining pools control 57% of Ethereum, and Ripple runs only 4%, and Ripple you might call the biggest party, of validators on the XRP Ledger. So, little story for you guys as to why it is this way, all right? Just a lot of you guys were wondering about it. There we go. If you ever wonder, you can send them this article. It's a long one, but it's an important one to kind of consider. All right. So I like it. I really, really very much like it. And also, you might wonder, why is there no reward? David Swartz made a video on that. We covered it a little while ago. He said the best incentive is no incentive because they're really doing it for the fairness and not for the money. With Bitcoin, the people are really not loyal. They just are with Bitcoin because it makes them a lot of money. They're not with it because they believe in it or trust it or anything like that. They're just in it for the money, which is a really big difference. Now, an article from 2 days ago, XRP effect. Did Jay Clayton really just echo Ripple's talking points? This was an article I didn't get into, unfortunately, a little bit early today, but it was still an important one. So, Jay Clayton is actually considered now one of the biggest hypocrites in the entire crypto space because he's going left and right towards crypto regulation right now, and people are really calling him out for it. Like, why sue Ripple? Why not make a proper rule book and then claim you think crypto regulations are so important? Isn't this stuff funny to you guys, man? I mean, come on. You can't make this stuff up. You really can't. It is so ridiculously stupid. And Brad Garlinghouse also quoted, cryptos, like nearly any new innovative technology, can be used for good or bad purposes. The problem is that the US companies seeking to be compliant and use this tech for the good are left in limbo. Or for Ripple, even worse, they got sued because of a lack of clear, predictable framework. And whatever they're talking about here, like Clayton, is just laughable, because he is concerned about the crypto space. Then again, if you look at what his claims have been the last couple of weeks, I mean, it's pretty dumb, if you ask me. It's pretty freaking dumb, man. Another one here was XRP lawsuit. Why is the SEC accusing Ripple of trying to have its cake and eat it too? This stuff is making my freaking head spin. It's so crazy what they're doing here. And I've told you guys before now, I'm going to say it again. I firmly believe they've run out of options and they're just trying some stuff. They're just putting up some I don't know, some freaking tags, whatever you want to call it. They're putting up some attempts to just get something arranged, but they can't. There's no freaking actual logic in whatever they're trying to do. It doesn't make much sense. This additional discovery is critical to the SEC's claims and defendants' defenses. It's not duplicative and is reasonable given the scope of the contentiously litigated security case. Ripple's attempt to have its cake and eat it too is fundamentally unfair because Ripple, again quote, Ripple would prefer to litigate whether XRP as currently distributed by Ripple is a security. This coupled with the fact that the firm's experts have left open the possibility of relying on post-complaint XRP data, makes such a request very timely and relevant. Finally, with respect to the blockchain firm's lobbying efforts, SEC contended that Ripple cannot dispute the fact that it paid influential people to make statements that were aimed at convincing the market that XRP is not a security. Such efforts, the agency added, attack the heart of the defendant's defense, especially since they prove, contrary to assertions, Ripple was not confused as to what the SEC thought of Ripple's offers and sales of XRP, and fought desperately to avoid the result it knew was coming. Two things to quickly say. One, the SEC here is alleging, right, in their claim, that Ripple knew that the SEC would consider XRP a security, yet what they are what they are doing here is not giving over their communications regarding Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP. So they're saying, let me rephrase that again. They're saying, Ripple, you knew what you were doing because of what we're seeing within the documents that you've handed over, or in the fact that you're not denying that you lobbied. But when it comes to what the SEC actually thought, for a part, the SEC says it doesn't matter what we think. It matters what we write down. And then when Ripple gets a court order to get what they've written down, they're like, oh no, we don't want to give you that. And then twice, right? Ripple came back to court, asked, hey, they're not giving us the doc. For the second time, SEC is like, no, we don't want to give it to you. And now Ripple has to go to court again to get a certain date on it. And the SEC has the freaking balls to then say, you know what, we need some extra time. Ripple knows that if this trial goes a little bit further, if they go into the next phase, which is about to happen in a couple of months here, they have a really good shot at winning because the SEC has, as I like to describe it, nothing on them. I think it's going to be extremely, extremely difficult to win this one. Again, we're not going to rule it out because obviously there's still ways in which they could win. I mean, it's a strange system regardless that they could sue like this and just get away with it with all the strange stuff in the background. I'm already considering to be kind of odd. So from that perspective, yeah, I'm not going to rule anything out, but it's strange. And I'm personally thinking Ripple would go for a settlement if the SEC were to bring it up that's, just favorable enough. But I don't think the SEC wants to agree with that. Maybe it's so that the SEC put up a couple of proposals, but Ripple would have to, for example, admit guilt, where Ripple would have to admit that XRP is a security or has been and that they violated something. I think Ripple can only agree to the rules which are Ripple has to pay a certain fine without admitting guilt. Ripple can continue on with their operations, and XRP is officially deemed a non-security from now on forward. If those were the terms, Ripple would definitely agree to it. You might say, oh, but Dusty, Ripple thinks they're going to win, so why would they agree? Well, if you think about it, if you get such a deal given to you, you're not gonna tempt the freaking higher ups, right? You're not gonna tempt them. You're not gonna try your luck. If you can get such a deal, of course you're gonna snatch it. But I would say that, at least my own thoughts is that the SEC doesn't want to give that because they want Ripple to admit some sort of guilt, which if I were Ripple, I would never do because you're in the right. Again, that's our opinion as of this matter. And so, well, they're trying their best to just hide as much info from each other, trying to get as much. And another point, which I would say here, why, sorry guys, the SEC might not want to settle just quite yet or put up a settlement offer is because they're trying to dig into Ripple's docs. And it might be so that they want to extend the discovery because they want to find something so they have more leverage to actually get a certain settlement going. Right now, what type of bargaining power does the SEC have? Think about it. What exactly can they bring to the table? What exactly can they give to Ripple, or what can they say which would make them want to say, you know what, yeah, you're right, we should settle? Because the way it stands right now, it's win after 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 win for Ripple. So Ripple logically is right now feeling kind of smooch, feeling kind of good going into summary judgment because they really most likely think they can win this one. Again, my thoughts on the matter. What do you guys think? Let me put up a new poll in the chat box. Do you guys actually let's see. Our previous poll ended with a lot of people thinking XRP is going to be going up, but I want to put up a new poll here. If you guys think that XRP/Ripple / whatever you want to call it there is going to win this lawsuit, do you think that Ripple is going to win this lawsuit? Yes? No? Let's quickly see what you guys are thinking in the chat box. I can put in the new poll feature. I never knew it existed because it didn't exist until like a week ago or so. It's pretty cool, right? Try it out. So respond to the poll that you see in the chat box right now. I think it's pretty funny. And guys, by the way, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I highly recommend you to do that right freaking now. Why, you might wonder? Why, you might ask? Because it's worth it. We provide crypto updates every single day. And if there's something important happening, you already know I'm about to cover it on this channel. If we get a settlement, you want to be there fair or be square. You want to have your notification bell on for the day that Ripple and SEC settle, because that way, I've already told you, that day, we're going to be putting up a multi-million-dollar trade. And it's going to be one of the greatest days of my life. And you might wonder, Dusty, why are you covering these articles from a couple of days ago? We've talked about the majority of these things. It's about getting it good in your head that certain scenarios apply, certain scenarios don't apply. And for example, this is what Ripple just tweeted out about, let's see, I'm not exactly sure. This is not my time. Because right now for me, it is 10:39 p.m. This was posted 10:45 p.m. Oh, June 9th, right? Oh, I was like, what is going on? Ripple just tweeted this out yesterday, for example. So 23 hours ago. And people are cussing at me in the comment section. Of course, of course, of course. Somebody says, FUD, YouTube. Stop following? FUD, how? Hype boy. You're a punk. Come on, let it flow, guys. No worries. I'll take it all. No worries, man. Keep it going. Throw whatever you can, all right? Stop with the FUD, this guy is saying yesterday. You do you. We'll talk about things that matter. Your quality is not good. Not sure why the stream would be dropped, man. You can actually change your stream settings, man. Top right, you can change something. So here was an article from Ripple. Increasing financial inclusion is a common goal for the 80% of central banks currently exploring CBDCs. Head to our blog to learn about the financial access and equity benefits that these digital currencies can bring. All I want to tell you guys once more, Ripple is so much bigger than meets the eye. I'm not even trying to shield them in that specific sense because once more, guys, if you buy or sell XRP, I literally do not care, right? You can do whatever you want. It's not my money. All I'm saying is I think Ripple is so overlooked, and I think a good part of that is because of this thought that it's a security, that they're having securities, and of course because they have such a big escrow. But if this SEC v Ripple case just finishes itself and Ripple can finally win, which we hope, so many bridges, haha, pun intended, are going to start to open. Or, I guess, come down so we can cross them. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah. All it takes is one extra decision. It's one freaking decision from the judge. One single announcement from Ripple or James or the SEC. Just one single announcement. And 95% of those worries are going away. Ripple has so many partnerships. We've covered this so many times. And while they're being sued by the U.S. freaking government, those partnerships are still intact. The freaking Europe Central Bank has thought about making some currency, or at least working with Ripple. Bank of America is working with Ripple. The 43rd treasurer is on the Ripple board. You cannot tell me that these people all thought, you know what? No. Ripple, that XRP that you have as a security, let's partner up anyway because we don't give a crap. Of course not. Of course. And these guys do their due diligence. A lot of these parties were going to work with XRP. If they thought it was security, they would never sign up. They wouldn't. You might consider MoneyGram to be a counterexample because Tetragon to be a counterexample because in Tetragon's terms, it was stated that Tetragon will be able to buy or sell their shares to Ripple if it were to be the case that XP were to be deemed a security. Then again, it's something which I think you have to put in there. I'm not sure and familiar enough with the law to say, but I'm sure that you must have a couple of rules that if something gets deemed a certain way, that they're able to buy your shares back. That might just be some standard rules, right? I'm not sure. Now, Mohammed Mallah said, when will the case finish with the $5 Australian coming in? Now, Mohammed, it's actually really difficult to say when exactly it'll end because there's no one way of just saying, oh yeah, it's going to end then or that. Why? Well, logically speaking, we cannot see the future and Ripple would settle on a couple of terms most likely, but even that we cannot confirm. We don't exactly know what Ripple is seeking for. And we also don't exactly know what the SEC is seeking for. There's already so many skewed little parts where, for example, the SEC is not fully representing XRP investors, but Ripple isn't either, so we need this motion to intervene. Then again, is the motion to intervene actually going to be decided before they come to a settlement? And all that type of stuff is something you'd wonder about. I mean, if the motion to intervene pulls through, then I would say that the deadline, is kind of shoves a little bit because all those questions, all those allegations being brought into the case might make it a little bit more difficult, right? If John Deaton, with the help of so many XP committee members, were to be able to intervene. It would allow for quite a lot more questionable things. So I'm definitely thinking about that. Darren says, Judge is quiet. She needs to deny SEC's 60-day extension. Too quiet. Big day tomorrow. Please, guys, don't think that just because she's quiet today, something big is going to happen tomorrow. We don't know about that. As of this point, it's just a waiting game for the judge to come up with some new decisions. She has so many new decisions to think on. The fair notice defense, which we just saw a reply on, or sir reply to the freaking whatever. So that's the one. That's this one right here. She needs to rule on that one. She needs to obviously rule on the motion to intervene. She needs to rule on the 60-day extension. She needs to rule on the closed door little, what is this called? Ceiling of things. She needs to respond to a lot of things, and she's not doing the best of jobs, so let's wait it out. Today we had this, right? Again, the Ripple response, if any, to the SEC's motion to seal the non-public SEC correspondence contained in Ripple Labs' opposition to the motion to strike. That's what we saw. I'm not sure even now. Whatever. Maybe this is still to be seen. Maybe this is actually still to be seen, right? Because it's Ripple's response, if any. So maybe we actually get this document today, because it's to the motion to strike, to Ripple's opposition to the motion to strike. But it's Ripple's response. Because I thought for a second that it would be this one, because this is also about the motion to strike. But this is the SEC's response. I'm a little bit confused. Then again, that might still be coming out later today. Usually these documents come out like middle of the night, so within like an hour or two. So that might be coming up. This year, whether there will be an oral argument about the motion to intervene, there could still, by the way, be a hearing. So an official judge and SEC and Ripple coming together, talking about the motion to intervene. That could still happen. The motion to intervene itself has to be discussed and decided, obviously, and the SEC's motion to strike Ripple's lack of due process, fairness, and defense has to be thought about. A lot of things have to be thought about, man. So the judge, and Mohammed, there's actually mainly two dates. One is right now within this entire discovery, that a settlement would be reached between Ripple and the SEC. They could at any point come together and decide, you know what, let's just settle. We agree on something, let's go for it. However, logically speaking, it could also be that they do not come to a conclusion, which would basically mean that we have to go to summary judgment, which is the next phase after this one, and that would basically mean that we'd wait for another, until at least like August or September, something like that. Mohammed says, I love the intro for your videos. Cheers me up. Oh, good to hear, man. I still find the intro strange that a lot of people like it. I'm not sure how that came to be, but it was pretty funny. It's pretty funny to me. how that one went. I thought people really disliked the intro. You know how many people told me to get rid of it? So a little fun fact: for like a year or so, the whole of 2000, maybe like 19 or something like that, 2018 to 19, a good part of that, I had a different intro because people really disliked my intro so much. They always said, "Get rid of that; it's so bad." And now all of a sudden, it's like a really big thing. Like it's pretty funny how that one moved along, huh? Let's quickly see. Dusty, I miss you sing Pump It Up. It's been a long time since we sang Pump It Up. That's true, though. Let me quickly actually put up Trading View here. Let's quickly check what the XRP price is doing right now. I think that might also be a little bit interesting to quickly take a little bit of a look at that. Let's see. So, it's not loading properly. I can already see a little bit of what is going on. So, XRP broke out of the triangle as all of you guys can see. Same thing for Bitcoin. Obviously, it broke it to the downside. I have 1 hours on all of these. Let me quickly go to a daily perspective. If you're wondering, I have the majority of these things open right now because I was also planning an Ethereum video. I thought I should actually do a stream for it, but then again, I don't know. I had all the content already planned out to do an entire stream about freaking Ethereum. I had so much stuff here open, but I'm not sure if I want to do a stream or if I want to make it a video. I guess we'll see in a couple of hours if I make up my decision. But for XRP specifically here, it came back up right after plunging. Right now, however, it fell back down so hard that all those gains from the last 2 days have been erased. For Bitcoin, that's actually not the case. Bitcoin broke out, plunged back in, after recovering from the bear trap, coming to the downside again, hopefully not closing below $36,000, and most likely will just build itself back into the triangle. Let's see what it's going to do tomorrow. I mean, a breakout is looming still to either side, and this was most likely just a fake out, but we'll see. XRP at least is not looking that decisive, more so looking bad, so to speak. Then again, you might actually skew that opinion a little bit as the XRP price performed actually better relatively than Bitcoin did. If you look at it, it's actually performing like this in comparison to Bitcoin's downwards sloping kind of. It's a little bit less positive the way I view it than with XRP. Then again, that's also debatable. The line that you can draw for XRP's new uptrend since May 23rd is more beautiful than that of Bitcoin because of the low that it reached right there that XRP really didn't. Now, I see Tyler put something in the chat box. He said, will Bitcoin crash or go to $300,000 by year's end? $300,000 for the end of the year, huh? $300,000. Let's quickly see the stock to flow model for what Plan B has said. End of the year, so 2022 here is between, following this analysis, between, let's say, I have no freaking clue, between like 20 or so thousand, it's logarithmic, 30, let's say $30,000, something like that, and $300,000, 500,000. I think the middle should be $500,000, right? So between 30 and $500,000 is within deviance. So what can I say? I have no. This is interesting. Well, within the first layer though, he is actually saying it's going to be between, let's say, about $75,000 and about, let's say, $250,000. So the answer to your question is most likely $300,000 is a little bit high as a prediction for the end of the year. So I can't say that's going to happen. Let's quickly see what else we got here. What else do I have open for you guys? This is just another announcement from Ripple from yesterday, but whatever. I still need to cover it. Navati Payments joined our global payment network to tap RippleNet's ODL service. Find out how. Just a little announcement like that. Just good to see, right? And again, a little funny thing is, but I thought Ripple didn't have any use case, huh? They do. They actually freaking do. Let's see what else we got. Oh, here was David Schwartz, again, co-creator of the XRP Ledger, who stated some really interesting stuff. He was talking about a vision for federated sidechains on the XRP Ledger. And even though that's not something which you're going to get into today, because I know already that a lot of people will press it away, it's really interesting. It is really interesting. You guys know I like Matic/Polygon so much. I like Polkadot so much with their parachain feature, for example, and just sidechains in general are really often a good or interesting proposal/idea. How exactly to bring it to fruition, though, is a different question, but let's only read this part, right? In order to understand the vision for federated sidechains, it is first important to define a federator. a piece of software that connects to at least 2 instances of the XRPL software. The federator software means anyone who wanted to could run a sidechain to the XRP ledger. On one side, the federator is connected to the XRP ledger mainnet. On the other side, it is connected to one or more sidechains. And the federator would be run only by parties who operate validators on at least one sidechain. And the vision is great. It's a really interesting proposal and idea. But now for a video like this, because I know already 100 people pressed it off just because I talked about it. Pantera Capital and Arlington XP Capital lead $5.8 million unbound finance raise. Yeah, it's just that Arlington, the guy, it's pretty funny to me that he actually has XRP in the capital name and then kind of turn his back on XRP for a little bit. He's back to the system though. I mean, he's pretty bullish on XRP. Did you guys also see Anthony Pompliano, being so bullish on XRP in the past? I think it's actually pretty funny to kind of read through that. Just read through the past and things. SEC files motion against Ripple's recent cert reply. The U.S. securities regulator has asked the court to ignore Ripple's recent cert reply regarding fair notice defense. What a joke, huh? What a freaking joke, man. I keep quoting it. I keep talking about it. It's freaking stupid. Wait a minute. Did another NFT sell for $12 million just now? Am I seeing that correctly? Oh, guys. CryptoPunk7523 has just made a record-breaking $12 million sale, proving that NFT hype is alive and well. Oh, my days. CryptoPunk's NFT has been sold for $12 million, or 4,700 Ethereum, at the Sotheby's auction. This makes my stomach ache. Oh, why? CryptoPunks are among the most popular NFTs, bringing in their issuers over $100 million worth of sales. Collection of CryptoPunks fetched $60.9 million at Christie's last May, but the masked alien CryptoPunk is the most expensive one to date. Oh, okay, this is this hurts my, I don't know, this hurts. This hurts to read. I don't like that type of stuff, man. I really, really despise it. You guys most likely know by now that I'm not the type of guy to really enjoy these huge NFT prices or bounties or whatever you want to call them, because I think a lot of them are just really, really dumb. Sincerely, honestly, wholeheartedly, I think they are dumb. By the way, guys, if you aren't yet, make sure you follow me over on Twitter at D-DBC. I also share cool announcements on there whenever you need them, all right? So might be worth it to check it out. And there's also an XRP Discord, by the way. A link is down below if you haven't checked it out. Might be worth it to just quickly snoop by, say hi, and just have some fun, right? You might enjoy it. You might like it. Having said that, that was it for today's little update right here. One of you guys asked still, do you think Ripple's going to win or not? Obviously, guys, you already know. I firmly think they are going to win. I firmly think so. If you enjoyed today's update, make sure you press the like button. Right now, just to help out the video perform a little bit better for people who haven't watched it. It's 50 minutes long, though, so I don't think many people will watch it after the stream. But, all right. Somebody says the Discord sucks. Too many idiots. I like it, personally. I do think it's pretty funny. But, just quickly reading what you guys are saying. But there'll be more streams because I'm trying to do a live stream every single day from now on. So make sure you subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on so you're notified every time we start a stream. And maybe just sometimes look back on the channel, right? Because I do a lot of surprise streams by accident. I just don't announce them properly. And so, as I've said, at least 1 or 2 streams are going to be coming out tomorrow again. A little bit earlier, all right? I think maybe like 1 or 2 p.m. Dutch time, Amsterdam time. But I'll put a little thingy up for it. I'll put a little premiere so you guys can see it a little bit up front. But again, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. More streams are going to be coming up and more updates will be coming out later today as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you. And as I just said, make sure you put that notification bell on if you forgot about it. So take care and have a nice one, guys.